Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to do a simple pineapple knot paracord key fob. This one is done in 3 different colors and it is a square key fob. Usually pineapple knots, especially ones with low bite numbers, tend to square up just like a herringbone braid. So this will be a square pineapple knot key fob. It is pretty easy to do and I hope you will enjoy this tutorial. With that said, let us take a look at the supplies. You're going to need 3 pieces of paracord, each about 3 feet long. You're going to need a mandrel. I used a dowel rod about 3/8 inches in diameter. I also used a rubber band, a lacing needle, as well as an additional piece of paracord that is going to be used for the core of our key fob. The length of this one should be 2, maybe 3 feet as well. Finally, you're going to need some scissors or a knife to cut the cords with, as well as a lighter. Let's begin. I started by attaching my first cord onto my small mandrel using a rubber band. I have attached a lacing needle onto the other end. I'm going to start by wrapping around my mandrel 3 times. I'm then going to wrap around towards the left side. Like this. So what I got was 3 X shapes. I'm now going to come around here on the left side and travel in between the X's. I exit on the right side with an over, then take my lacing needle, and I'm going to go the opposite of this cord, which is traveling towards the left side. So I'm going to start with an under, then go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and finally exit on the left side with an over. Then place your working end next to the standing end, like this, and with that we have finished one color. We're now going to move to the second color. The next cord is introduced again by first attaching a lacing needle onto one end, then taking the other end and placing it onto the left side of our standing end. Like this. We're now going to continue, starting with an under 2, then continue an over 1 under 1 sequence all the way to the right side. So over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, and finally we exit on the right side with an over 1. Then we follow this top bite here, going on top of it, then coming to this point. At this point, we're going to re-enter the knot with an over 2 and then split a pair and go under 1. So we started with an over 2, then under 1. Then over 2 and under 1. Over 2 and under 1. And over 2 and under 1. Then over 2 and under 1. We do not exit our knot on the left side, but instead we turn around, and where we end up with an under 1, we start our next sequence here with an under 1 as well. So under 1, then over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, then exit the knot with an over 2. Then we're going to travel on top of this bight here, and we're going to start our sequence here. So we traveled on top of our bight until we reach this color of cord, and here we're going to travel under. So under 1, then over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2. Over 2, and finally under 1, just before we would exit the knot. So we end our sequence with an under 1, then place our working end next to our standing end, under 2. Like this. We only have one cord remaining. I have again attached a lacing needle onto the end, and I'm going to take the other end and feed it under the rubber band. We're going to place it in between the other two ends, like this. Then we're going to travel under 4. It is very important that you go under the 4 cords to get to this point. Let me show you. What you want is to come just into the second crossing here. So if this is the first crossing of the first cord, and this is the second crossing of the second cord, we want to come just above it. So this should be an under 4. If you're having issues coming to this point, you could also start at the other bight and come into this crossing here. So you would go under 4 here. So after going under 4, we're basically going to do an over 2, under 2 sequence all the way to the right side. So over 2, under 2. over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2. Over 2, under 2. And finally, we exit on the right side with an over 2. We then travel on top of the previous byte, then re-enter on the right side with an over 3. So over 3, then under 2, then over 3, under 2, over 3, under 2, over 3, under 2, over 3, and under 2. We do not exit on the left side, but at our last under 2, we turn around and start our next sequence with an under 2. Like this. So we did not exit on the left side, but instead we turned around and went under 2. Then continue over 3, under 2. Over 3, under 2. Over 3, under 2. Over 3, under 2. And finally, we exit on the right side with an over 3. Then travel on top of your previous byte, like this, so on top here. And we're going to start our next sequence with an under 1. Then continue a simple sequence of over 3, then under 3. Over 3, under 3. Over 3, under 3. Over 3, under 3. Then over 3 and under 2. Like this. Then we place our working end under 3 right next to the standing end of our third color. With that, we have pretty much tied our knot. To finish our knot, what we're going to do is remove it from the mandrel. We're going to take one of the working ends, and right where it comes out of the knot, we're going to place it back in, and travel to the top side with our lacing needle. Like this. We're then going to take the other working end again, right where it comes out of the knot, we're going to go back in and travel to the top side of our knot. So after you have done this, you should have 3 standing ends on one side and 3 working ends coming through the knot and to the other side. We're now going to insert a core through the middle as well. So I'm going to use this black cord, and to help me out, I'm going to use a smaller piece of cord or thread in order to pull through the core. So what I do is I place my core through my thread like this, take my lacing needle, feed it through the middle, like this, and then simply pull in my thread, which is in turn going to pull in my core. Like this. After tightening everything up, we're going to finish with a 2-stranded lanyard knot here at the bottom. The function of this knot is to prevent your long knot from slipping down off of your core. So I'm going to tie a 2-stranded lanyard knot, but you can use any other 2-stranded knot that you might like. So I'm going to start with my left strand, and I'm going to make a loop. So like this. I'm going to take my right strand and fold it towards the top, like this, and place it under the loop, like this. Then I'm going to take my right strand, and I'm going to go over here at the top, then under here at the bottom, then over, under, and over here. Like this. Now take your top right strand and go past these 2 cords here at the top, then under and through the middle. Take your bottom left strand, go past this cord here at the top right, then under and through the middle. Then simply pull on the 2 ends, and what you're going to get is a lanyard knot. Now before you tighten it up, place it as close to the knot as possible. So what I do is I simply pull in my cord, and I work it through the knot and out of my working ends. And then the other end, again pull it into the knot and work it through the knot and out the working end. With that, your key fob is complete. After cutting and melting at the bottom here, we're finally done. Guys, I hope you will enjoy this key fob and make many more. Thank you and see you next time.